Tonight, we thought that'd be fun to talk about that tonight. So your favorite quarantine drink, want to hear from you this evening. And we're going to focus on our big story, which of course is the vaccine rollout happening across the state of Indiana, because today Hoosiers 16 and older are now eligible to get the COVID vaccine. And we'll be talking with Lauren. We'll be checking in with her dog coming up in a moment, all part of a fun Wednesday evening here on Channel 13's Facebook Live. But let's begin tonight with Angela. It is cold outside, my friend, after it was a sunny but cold day, wasn't it?
It was a sunny but cold day and windy day. And if you didn't like today, I don't have good news for tomorrow, but it does improve for Friday and the weekend. We're forecasting a hard freeze.
Right.
Temperatures middle and upper 20s the next 2 mornings.
Oh.
I know. 29 tomorrow in Indianapolis, 27 Muncie and Kokomo. You're going to need to dig out the heavy coat, and I would keep it handy through at least lunchtime on Friday.
What?
I know. Freeze warning in effect for the southern part of the state. That's because the growing season has already started for those of you in Bedford and Seymour and Point South. So you might be saying, okay, well, why don't I have a freeze warning? I already have my pansies out. I've already planted a couple of things. Well, technically, the growing season hasn't started for about the northern 2/3 of the state. And our average last freeze, at least for the city of Indianapolis, is still about 2 weeks away, middle of April, give or take a day or two. So that's the reason National Weather Service hasn't put the rest of us under the freeze warning, because we can still technically get this cold this time of year. I know we don't like it, but it still can happen. Temperatures tomorrow, they're not going to move much. In and out of some clouds as our winds change direction. That northwest wind is going to be right over Lake Michigan, and it might be enough for some lake effect clouds and a few lake effect flurries across the northern part of the state. So don't be surprised if you see 1 or 2 if you're north of Indianapolis. And the big story for us tomorrow, temperatures that don't get out of the 30s. Okay, so Tanya wants to know, Tanya Rodabush, checking in, what happened to spring?
It's coming right back, Tanya, don't you worry. Near 50 Friday, and we're still forecasting 60s and 70s for the weekend. And, selfishly, if I work Monday through Friday, I'm okay with it being nice on the weekends.
Right. And we know what's coming, right? We know warmer weather is on the way, and as you mentioned, you've got 60s and 70s to chat about, so we're excited about that. Roy is saying hi all. We've got Jesse saying good evening. Ashley joining us today saying hi. So we've got lots of Facebook friends. Randy joining us from Anderson tonight. Keith says yo. So we want to say hello to Keith tonight, and Ashley joining us from Grant County. So great to have all of our Facebook friends. Yeah, good to see everybody. All right, Angela, we'll be back with you in a jiffy as we talk more about the weather in this cold evening across central Indiana. All right, let's give you a preview of our big story that's coming up tonight on 13 News at 11. We're talking about the COVID vaccine and the rollout that continues statewide. Today's big news, of course, was that Hoosiers 16 and older are now eligible for it. And there's Lauren joining us tonight in the bright colored outfit. You look great tonight. Lauren, thanks for joining us from home tonight. We'll get an update on Milo in just a second, but we do want to talk about the vaccine and specifically your story tonight, because you're focusing on this new study from Pfizer that says that the Pfizer vaccine could be good for young adults, right? All right, I think we've got you muted.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh, can you hear me?
All good. We can hear you. So tell us about your story again.
So as we know right now, the Pfizer vaccine is good for those 16 and older, but this new study is focused for those 12 to 15, which is that small group. So it was a small study of a little bit more than 2,000 young adults, and they found that it was 100% effective, which means that there were 0 cases amongst those that were fully vaccinated, and there were 18 cases for those that got the placebo or were not vaccinated. So this is really good news. And I spoke with a Riley doctor, and he said, this is a breakthrough, because as we look ahead for schools and getting back on track and, having that stable learning environment, we need to have our kids vaccinated, even if they're not the ones maybe ending up in the hospital. But he did say that throughout this pandemic, there have been kids, as we know, that got COVID, or unfortunately some that have passed away. So this is really a big step forward. And it's not just this one study. There are Moderna's also doing a study. Johnson & Johnson's doing a study. So this is the first one we've seen for this young age group, Scott.
Right, and I know that there are a lot of vaccine clinics happening across the state. In fact, a big one happening over at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway beginning tomorrow. But it's my understanding, at least for this first one that starts tomorrow, there are no more appointments. It's booked up, isn't it?
It is, as far as I know, yeah, it's booked up this today. I know I booked my appointment for the last clinic they're doing at IMS on the weekend of the 24th.
Right,
so
last week of April, today. Right. Good.
Yeah, I signed up for today, and my boyfriend also signed up, so it feels like such a surreal moment. I know you got your dose, so.
I did. I got my second dose, so I'm fully vaccinated, and the ones that they're offering over at the track, that's the Johnson & Johnson, the one-dose variety. So I'm glad to hear that you got that you'll get your vaccine coming up here at the end of the month. Also coming up tonight at 11 o'clock, the effort to get college kids vaccinated. Lauren, that'll be part of our big story tonight. And when you can find an appointment out at IMS, that'll also be part of our big story. So before we say goodbye to you, want to get an update on how Milo's doing. How was his day?
He has been really sassy today, so I have to find him. He decided to hide behind the chair.
All right.
I will get him. He's just in us.
All right, so there goes Lauren. See, the deal is Lauren's got, I think this is her boyfriend's other dog that is there.
Yes, it is.
Right?
He's here too. So we got Milo checking in.
Hey, Milo.
His ear's a little messed up. So there we go. He's got really big ears.
Oh, we've got to find a way to get Milo here at the TV station so we can see him. But it's always great when we have you here, Lauren, and also your dog Milo. He's quite popular here on our Facebook Live program. And so that is very cute.
He also got an Instagram, so I will post it.
Oh, serious? Milo now has an Instagram account. That is awesome. Okay. Adventures with Milo, and we'll get Lauren to post that Instagram account. Great seeing you, Lauren. And Milo, thanks so much for joining us here on Facebook Live. We'll see you tonight at 11 o'clock. All right, let's go ahead and bring Angela back and talk more. Wasn't that cute?
Milo's got big fans.
I know.
Renita, Brian, Terry. So, yes. And then, we're still getting a few questions about eligibility,
right.
And someone asking, kind of a personal question and, best advice.
Right.
Anyone 16 or older is now eligible, but if you have questions, personal questions, it's always a good idea to reach out to your doctor, your physician.
Oh, absolutely.
So we are not that smart.
Yeah, we're not the specialists here. We would refer you to the State Department of Health, and certainly your personal physician can go ahead because they know your medical history. So we're just telling you that adults 16 and up are now eligible to go ahead and schedule their vaccine. And of course, finding the vaccine is, that's the challenge, of course, because that really opens up the floodgates here. Everybody's going to be, everybody who's interested in getting the vaccine will be looking for it. And as we do every night, we encourage our Facebook friends to search in a neighboring county in case you don't find anything that's close to your home, Angela.
Yeah, or if you sign up and you're a few weeks away and you have some free time the next day or the day after, you can always check back and see if there's something that came available a little sooner. So
the COVID vaccine rollout, that'll be part of our big story tonight. All right, let's have some fun tonight, talk about a couple of other topics. During the quarantine, remember back in the early part of the pandemic, it feels like a year ago. I guess it was about a year ago.
Yes.
A lot of bars and restaurants were closed down. Everybody was, at home, stuck, and, they were thinking about, hey, it'd be kind of fun to do a fun drink. And with the bars closed or restaurants closed and, people didn't want to go out, didn't feel comfortable going out, they started doing some research online about, creating their own drinks at home. So there is a group that has looked at the Google data that is out there in terms of search studies tonight to find out what was the most researched drink during the pandemic. And so let's go ahead and chat about that a little bit. So again, this travel rewards company used Google Trends data to see which drinks and recipes that people were looking up online. The most searched drink recipe here in Indiana was the Tequila Sunrise.
Ooh, and you know what? I actually know how to make that thanks to the Pioneer woman I was watching this morning.
Yeah, right. So what is in the Tequila Sunrise other than tequila?
It's ice.
Yeah.
She filled the glass with ice.
Right.
Mostly orange juice.
All right.
Topped it with tequila, and she did a spicy jalapeno tequila that she put a jalapeno in and let sit for 24 hours.
Okay.
And then you top it with grenadine, and you don't stir, so it looks like a sunset, like an orange, really pretty orangey red sunset.
Really?
Or
All right.
sunrise. I guess it's called a tequila sunrise.
Right.
Yeah. And then you top it with the grenadine, that makes it red.
All right, so there you go. So that was the most searched drink recipe in the state of Indiana.
Funny. I wouldn't have expected that.
Okay, so the Tequila Sunrise. Nationwide, the most popular drink during the pandemic, mimosas.
Well, I'm surprised you have to search for that one, though.
I mean,
That's easy.
Isn't it a pretty easy one, right?
It's either champagne or Prosecco and orange juice.
Right. Yeah, it's sort of a Sunday brunch
Kind of thing,
sort
sure.
of a thing. You know,
Yeah.
I would think that maybe for Easter brunch that would be a popular one.
People might be having those.
People want to know how to make margaritas,
Yes.
mojitos,
Okay. I've never had a
and-
mojito.
and what is in a mojito?
I don't know.
Okay.
I've never had a
Facebook
mojito.
friends, help us out on
We
that.
don't know what mojitos are.
Okay.
I've had a margarita, but not a mojito.
And pina coladas.
Okay. Too sweet for me.
Yeah. So, you know what? I hear pina colada, and I think back to the 3 years that my wife and I lived in Hawaii before we had kids. Oh, pina coladas.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a great, sitting on Waikiki Beach, watching the sun go down in Hawaii.
Okay. Then maybe I'd have one, but they're
Pretty
kind of
nice.
sweet.
I don't think I could make one. I don't have any clue what is in one, but they're sure good.
I think that's probably a pina colada mix of some sort. And is it rum?
I have no.
I don't know
no
either.
idea.
I'm not.
I have no
Bartending is not a skill of mine.
All right, so Facebook friends, tell us if you were researching drinks during the pandemic, what was your favorite pandemic drink? Go ahead and share as we're having a little fun here on this Wednesday night here with you on Facebook Live. And before we say goodnight tonight, this really amazing story coming out of New Mexico. So a guy goes into the grocery store, comes back out to his car that's out there in the parking lot, and discovers this. He's got a car full of bees. 15,000 bees are there. So the guy is like, he doesn't know what to do. So he calls 911. So the fire crew comes out, and this guy is a beekeeper when he's not a firefighter.
Of
So
course
he
he
knew
is.
exactly what to do. So he shows up, he's in the beekeeper uniform. He knew right what to do. Can you imagine this?
No.
15,000 bees swarming around this guy. He was able to gather them all up. I have no idea
No.
how they do that.
I don't either.
And
I don't want to know.
With only with only 15,000 bees, only one person got stung once.
Wow.
So I thought that was amazing. So hats off to Jesse Johnson, the firefighter beekeeper out in New Mexico that was able to figure out how to get rid of all those bees.
Do you suppose the hive was in his car? Did he run into it? Did he run over something?
I mean, I have no idea. It would seem as though if you disturbed a bee nest, right, or a
Yeah.
beehive rather, then perhaps the bees would be coming for you. I don't know that the bees would leave their hive if they smelled something in your car. Does that happen?
15,000 of them? I don't think.
I don't know. I don't know, but I don't want to know what that would be like to come back
Me
to the car.
neither.
Yeah, we thought that was pretty amazing. All right, so Facebook
crazy.
friends, give us your feedback tonight on the beehive story and the firefighter that rescued that guy.
Yeah.
And let us know about your drinks. Let us know about the COVID story, what you think about Indiana now making that eligible for Hoosiers 16 and older. And of course, Angela, give us again the forecast in case people are just tuning in.
Cold tonight,
Yep.
20s. In fact, we're under a freeze warning south. Hard freeze expected tonight and tomorrow night. And you'll need the heavy coat off and on through at least midday Friday. Temperatures tomorrow, 35 to 40. I'm going to have some interesting stats about the coldest start to April 1. I'll have those for you at 11. And Renita, by the way, said yuck about the bees. I'm with you. Our friend Jim from Arizona, who's got one
Jim.
more week in Arizona.
Jim.
Says
Yep.
Cabernet, what else? So he didn't search for anything, it doesn't sound like.
Just search for the Cabernet bottle. That's
Yeah.
all he needed.
And Tanya says bought Mike's lemonade instead of toilet paper. Or when everyone else was buying toilet paper, Tanya was buying Mike's.
That's pretty funny. Now, one other thing that I saw, Aaron wants to know, could we possibly hit close to 80 next week?
Yeah, yesterday's analysis had us really, really warm.
Right.
Wednesday, Thursday next week, kind of backing off on that higher heat analysis today, indicating that we may get a weather system in here Wednesday, Thursday that would keep us from getting that warm, but mid-70s, a good possibility.
Oh, wow.
Tuesday, Wednesday for sure.
Yeah, for all the people like myself that are not going on vacation next week, the idea of getting some 70s here, that's awesome.
It's going to be great.
All right, very good. Facebook friends, great to be with you again here on this Wednesday night. And Angela and I with you every weeknight, 10 o'clock right here on the Channel 13 Facebook page. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tonight at 11 for 13 News at 11. Good night.